that wraps up Power Struggle. There was a post Power Struggle press conference where we got the first official match for Wrestle Kingdom 16. So the match is set for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. In the press conference, champion Shingo Takagi, it was announced he will defend against Kazuchika Okada on January 4th. Takagi promised that he would retain the championship against Okada. He then mentioned that if he won, he would take the IWGP Heavyweight title that Okada is carrying and would give it to the appropriate IWGP advocate, mentioning that 2022 is NJPW's 50th anniversary.
Do you think he means Inoki?
Maybe, because I read the interview and he was like, you guys know who it is. I'm not going to say his name.
Well, I watched the video just before we recorded the show, and he was like, I've never met the man, but we all know who he is. And he even quoted someone as saying, like, if you have enough willpower and drive, anything is possible.
Yeah.
Or something like that. And
yeah.
I was like, that sounds like some shit Inoki would have said back in the day. Like, but, you know, he's talking about the IWGP advocate. I think I like to refer to this individual as a collective body called the IWGP committee. So I think in fact, I think they actually probably mistranslated what he was saying. They call it they're trying to say he's saying IWGP advocate, but I have it on good record that in Japanese, what he was saying was actually IWGP committee. So there's some confusion there.
Then Okada also had some, more outrageous comments that I didn't copy down here, but he was talking about.
I heard them all. They
asked him like, "Oh, well, Shingo beat you twice this year. Like, how do you feel going in this match?" He was like, "That was then. This is now. That was a pass." Like,
bro, there was other shit too. Like, they were like, so not only did they ask him about him losing twice, but they're like, this man defended, won the belt, defended against Tanahashi, defended against, Zack Sayer. Who else did he defend against? Ibushi?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he was supposed to defend against, but he defended Evil.
Oh, yeah. So they, mentioned the people he defended against. And, what have your thoughts been on, the state of the championship and, what are your thoughts on him beating you and everything like that? And he was like, well, to be honest, I can't say that I've seen any of his IWGP World Heavyweight title matches. I haven't watched them all or any of them.
Right. He's like, I don't be watching.
Yeah, he's like, I don't be watching his shit. And he's like, considering who was involved with the matches, I'm sure they were great, but it's the Okada show now, so
yeah. And they asked,
this motherfucker just said that he doesn't watch the title matches. You remember when wrestlers, when Bill Watts used to require the wrestlers to not go home, they had to stay and study the main event. This man Okada's like, fuck that, I'm going home. Okada works his undercard match and gets the fuck out of Dodge. He doesn't watch Shingo's matches.
Right. Also, they asked him, what are your plans for the IWGP title? And he's like, I'm not going to reveal it, but I do have a request that I'm going to make if I win the match. I'm like, this man is going to, bring the title back, retcon the last 2 years, and, be the IWGP
Who knows
champion
what he's
again.
Doing. Yeah, he's talking, bro. I told you he's got fuckboy energy last week. He's talking out both sides of his mouth because he was like, this isn't the world title. It just represents the contract. That's all it is. And they're like, but what if you win? What are you going to do? Well, I can't give that away for free. I mean, there's no intrigue in that. It's too soon. I'm like, but you just said it's not going to be. Bro, what the fuck? The funny thing, too, Shingo came into the room and said some shit that was mad funny. He was like, this man wants to call himself IWGP champion. But if he cared so much about being IWGP, or I'm sorry, I messed up. He wants to call himself the G1 champion. But if he cared so much about being represented as the G1 champion, wouldn't he carry the G1 trophy around? He's like, instead, he's carrying around the IWGP heavyweight title, a title that was literally retired and defunct, and it has nothing to do with the G1 in any shape or form. So why is he even bringing it out? I don't know what this even means.
Yeah.
And then later, Okada was like, listen, it's just a representation. When you win the G1, all they give you is some paper. They give you a paper. So I don't want to carry a paper. I want to raise the prestige of the tournament. I'm going to carry this belt instead. And then they're like, but didn't that man say something about trophies? Like, never mind all that. This is to represent the paper. No, he was like, in sports, you don't carry a trophy around. He was like, you carry a belt or a medal around. And so I'm carrying this belt. Like, dude, just fucking say what you're doing. Stop being so fucking shady, dude.
Right.
God, Okada's like making it hard for me to even like him. Like, I wish he'd go back to wearing pants. Fuck him. There was one thing. I didn't say this last week, but I thought about this. If this was real sports, and this is boxing or MMA, and this man Shingo beat this man's ass twice in the same calendar year, Okada would never get another title shot until Shingo went G1 or not. G1's be damned. This man would never get another title shot because Hira got his ass handed to him twice. And, at that point, it's like, he's got no shot, This man blew it twice already. So, he's a gatekeeper of the stars until someone else comes along and wins that belt.
Yeah, he needs to go.
I don't know what.
He's going the back of the line along with Chase Owens.